This is Kathy Cassidy and lovely Mary Shelley the tortoise saying hi to you and welcome to another chapter of Love from Lexie. And if you've been following, you'll know that Mary Shelley gets a mention pretty much throughout all of it. And I thought that she would, oh look, she's waving, wave Mary. She wanted to join me today to say a special shout out to a girl called Helen, who's asked to get a mention, and because her name's Helen, which is the same as one of my best friends, I thought I would also give a shout out to my best mate Helen in Coventry and her fella Dave, and to her kids Kirsty and Kirsty's husband Ben, and also to Ewan, her son. And I can't leave out my other best friend Sheena, although I don't think she will be watching, but if she is, special Kathy and Mary Shelley wave to her as well. So yeah, now we've got, I'll put Mary down and let her have a wander around. She's just going to give you a last wave. Whoa, whoa. I think she's just waking up, so she's probably going to race around the room now, but yeah, I'll let her go. Right, Mary's unleashed. So we're going for another chapter of Love from Lexie. I think it's chapter 24 and it's called Train of Thought. And I already gave you the filler between the chapters yesterday, so I'm just going to dive straight in. And yeah, let's get stuck in. Train of Thought. Bex, Jake, Happy and I end up making fruit smoothies and hanging out until the light fades. The old railway carriage feels like our space, a neutral territory where we can relax and be ourselves. Mostly we're just chatting and chilling, but Jake is also mapping out rough designs for his new love letters flyer, and Bex is making a list of who has promised to do what. Happy's checking the library's social media pages, and I am trying not to get cross about the text that's just buzzed in from Marley. Sorry for the no-show. Something came up. Marley Hayes is driving me nuts, I say, reading the text again and failing to spot any sign of an explanation. He's just texted to apologise for not turning up, though he doesn't sound especially sorry. Something came up, he says. What does that even mean? Maybe he got sidetracked writing a song, Jake suggests. Maybe it was a family thing, Happy offers. Maybe it was a girl, Beck states, and I feel tears stinging my eyes and blink them away before anyone can see. Come on, Bex, Jake cuts in. I know you don't like him, but don't blacken his name when he's not here to defend himself. Whatever, Beck snaps. I don't like him because I don't want Lexie to get hurt. I've never seen him with anyone for more than 2 weeks. He'd be better off getting a job at Milford Tip than trying for the music business, because dumping is his #1 skill. We've seen how he takes you for granted, Lexie. I just worry, that's all. I'm fine, I argue. We're okay, honest. That's not what you said a minute ago, Happy points out gently. Well, no, but that's because the text bugged me, I say. In general, most of the time, I'm okay. Are you? Bex questions. I'm not so sure. I've seen it before, Lexie, remember? The feeling low, feeling sad. The whole point of this lost and found thing was to make new friends and have more fun. And I'm enjoying it, but I'm not so sure about you. Bex is right. I'm sad. Missing Mum, feeling lost all over again. Missing. What does that word even mean? A person vanishes, and the person left behind misses them. Who is missing, really? Mum or me? Who is really lost? I can't ask my friends about this, explain how anxious I feel every time I have to do or say something that might end up on the radio or TV or in the Milford Gazette. Bex would tell Mandy and she'd tell Josie, my social worker, and I'd end up back in counselling with a well-meaning therapist asking me to act out my feelings with rag dolls or drawings or lumps of Play-Doh. No, thank you. It had better not be Marley Hayes making you sad, my foster sister declares. I'll kill him. That probably wouldn't help, Jake tells her. If things are a bit up and down with Marley, you just need to talk it through. I'm not really an expert, but isn't that what they always say? None of us are experts, Bex concedes, but we do care about you. Is he too pushy, Happy wants to know. Boys like Marley can be. Stick to holding hands. These things can escalate. I've been reading about it in one of my church pamphlets. Church pamphlets, Jake checks. You're kidding, right? Deadly serious, Happy insists. Better safe than sorry. Look at the figures for teenage pregnancy. Excuse me, I interrupt. Just so you know, that will not be an issue. Seriously, I can't work out how Marley feels about me, that's all. If he sees me as a friend, a girlfriend, a writing partner, or something else completely. Maybe I'm not ready for this whole boyfriend-girlfriend thing. Let's face it, it was never going to be easy, Bex says. Having Marley Hayes as your first boyfriend is a bit like picking Tolstoy's War and Peace as your first reading book. Jake's right. Talk to him, Lexie. Sort it out or end it on good terms, because if you two fall out, we're all in trouble. The lost and found is stuffed if one of you two leaves, and that can't happen, not before the festival at any rate. No pressure then, I say, cracking a smile. Definitely no pressure, Bex winks. I look towards the window by the kettle, but the steamed up glass has long since cleared, and my message has gone. The next day, Year 10 tough girl Sharleen Scott grabs me by the collar of my blazer as I'm putting some science books back in the locker. Tell your boyfriend to back off, she growls, her face so close to mine I can smell the stale cigarette smoke on her breath. He's an animal, flew at my Darryl last night and attacked him for no reason at all. Marley's just jealous because we're not together anymore and because I won't join your poxy band. He's been nagging me to get involved for weeks, but he won't get the message. I am not interested. Not in him, not in the band. Understand? I understand that she's crazy, possibly delusional, but I have the sense not to say this. She lets me go with one last shove just as the bell rings for lunch, and Jake and Happy come miraculously around the corner. Oi, Jake yells, breaking into a run. What's going on? Nothing that need concern you, scruff boy, Sharleen sneers, swaggering away. What did she do? Happy demands, straightening my blazer and giving me a hug. Are you okay? I'm fine, honest, I say, picking up my scattered books, just a bit shocked and confused. She reckons Marley attacked her boyfriend last night. Made out he's jealous because she's with someone else and that he's been pestering her to join the band. In her dreams, Jake mutters, but she's right about one thing. Dylan just told me the reason they didn't show last night. Marley got in a fight on the way home from school. Again. A whole raft of emotions fizz through me. Fear, anger, confusion, disappointment. I don't know what to think or how to feel. I take out my mobile and there are 6 unread texts from Marley in the last hour telling me he needs to talk, needs to see me fast before Sharleen Scott starts shooting her mouth off. Too late. Where are you? I text back. What happened? Meet me behind the gym. 5 minutes, he replies. And like an idiot, I tell Jake and Happy not to stress and trudge off to find him. The back of the gym is out of bounds. It's not difficult to spot the lone figure sitting beneath an oak tree beside the perimeter fence, reading the Ked Wilder library book. I almost turn back there and then because I can see his beautiful face is bruised and swollen, and I can't be sure whether I'm sympathetic or furious. Lexie, he calls, over here. As I get closer, I see the blue-black bruises blooming on his right cheek, the split lower lip with its blister of dark, dried blood. Oh, Marley, what have you done? I know, I'm an idiot, he says. I just walk into it every single time. It's like I can't help it. I notice that a few slats of wood in the fence have worked loose, making a gap that a person could fit through. This is my escape route. When school is bugging me, he tells me. One side of the fence is rules and tests and snarky teachers, and the other side is freedom. Cool, right? What will you do when they mend the gap in the fence? Marley grins. They've mended it twice already, he argues. I just make sure it never stays mended for long. I sit down beside him and it's quiet and peaceful after the madness of school, where too many kids push and shove their way through the day. Sunlight filters through dappled leaves, and somewhere in the distance, birds are singing. About Sharleen, I say. Too late. We had a chat. Marley swears under his breath. Whatever she said, it's probably lies, he tells me. She's a spiteful little troublemaker. Don't know what I ever saw in her. She's been hassling me for the last few weeks to put her in the band, and I've just laughed it off. Like I said, she's got a voice like a bag of rusty nails. Then, walking home from school last night, me and Dylan bumped into her with her boyfriend. He's this big thug from St. Michael's High, 6 foot tall, total bonehead. Not sure what she's been telling him about me, but he wasn't exactly friendly. Her story was a bit different, I say. She reckons you've been nagging her to join the band, that you still fancy her. Marley snorts, outraged. That's rubbish, you know that, he tells me. They were winding me up. He called me a load of stuff and Sharleen egged him on. You can't let that kind of thing go, can you? You can, actually, I say. You just hold your head up and walk past and tell yourself you're better than all that. You should try it sometime. Marley sighs. Maybe. I grit my teeth, exasperated. What is it with you, Marley? Your face is a mess. What if this had happened just before the festival? Our big chance. What if he'd stamped on your fingers or broken your wrists so you couldn't play guitar, or actually kicked your guitar to splinters? Dylan ran off with the guitar, Marley says, raised the alarm, found some lads who chased the kid away. It could have been a lot worse. You have to stop this, I tell him. Seriously, you do. For my sake, if not for your own. For the band's sake. Put the music first, the way you expect us to. Marley is silent, forlorn. A part of me feels sorry for him, but a bigger part feels scared and daunted. Do I really know this boy at all? He keeps so much of himself hidden, it's difficult to work out what's real and what isn't. The fighting thing, it's scary, messed up. I'm trying, he says eventually, for you, because I know it bugs you. It doesn't bug me, Marley, I say. That makes it sound trivial, and it isn't, okay? It matters. You have this reputation for being tough and stupid and never walking away from a fight. It's like you deliberately pick people who are bigger and harder than you too. You know you'll come off worse, and you don't even care. One day you're going to get a lot more than a few bruises and a fat lip. You'll get properly hurt. Do you like getting beaten up? Because I don't like it, Marley. I really, really don't. As I speak, Marley looks out into the distance, impassive. I can't tell if he's listening, if he understands, or if he even cares. And then he turns to me and his blue eyes are damp with tears. My anger evaporates like it was never there at all. Lexie, I'm sorry, he says, and he puts his arm around me, holding me tight. You're right. I'll stop. I promise. I will. For you and for the band. We hang on to each other forever maybe, or maybe it's just a few seconds. I press my lips softly against the bruises on his face, slide my fingers over his ruined mouth, wipe away the tears. Somewhere in the distance, the bell rings to signal the end of lunch. But when I ask Marley if he's coming to lessons, he just shakes his head, stands and slips quietly through the gap in the fence. I walk back into school alone. So again, things getting a little bit dramatic for Marley and Lexie. I hope you are handling the lockdown okay. Hope you're managing. My latest thing is I'm trying to look for, 3 or 4 things every single day that I can be grateful for. And that's helping a lot because there's always something. Maybe you could try it too. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for another chapter of Love from Lexie. Take care.